Oh, good morning, Mr. Mitchell. My name's Josh, and I'll be conducting a health check on your XC90 today. To begin with, around at the near side front of the vehicle. The near side front tyre is measuring at 5.2mm, and that's the lowest point. There's no cuts or gouges to the tyre itself, and it does appear to be in a good condition. Coming round onto the brake pads on the near side front, although there is a slight bit of lipping occurring on the disc, there's nothing we'd be concerned about as the brake pads themselves are on 10mm. Coming round into the suspension components and mounts, all intact and operating as they should be on the near side front. Shock absorber's not leaking, and obviously the air spring is intact and operating as it should. Engine and gearbox are both nice and dry. I have just drained your oil, so there's a little bit of residue around there. I'll get that cleaned off for you. And coming round onto the offside front, everything's intact and operating as you'd expect it to. Following on to the offside front tyre, this tyre is measuring at 5.5mm, so you've got plenty of tread left, and that is at the lowest points. And coming round into the brake pads on the offside front are measuring at 10mm. Again, we have got some lipping on the disc, but nothing we'd be concerned about just yet. Coming down the centre of the vehicle, the exhaust is nice and secure, and there's no leaks down towards the rear axle. Just above your exhaust, you've got your prop shaft, which is intact and operating as it should with no excessive movement. And down towards the rear differential, nice and dry. Drive shaft's intact. Coming round, rear springs and shock absorber are all intact and operating as they should be. And onto the offside rear tyre. The offside rear tyre measuring its lowest point is 6.3mm. No cuts or gouges to the tyre itself. And coming round onto the brake pads on the offside rear are measuring at 6mm. Again, we have got some lipping on the disc, nothing we'll be concerned about until the pads have run out. Coming across the axle to the near side rear axle components all intact on the near side rear side. And finally, onto the near side rear tyre itself is on 6.4mm at the lowest point. And again, the rear brake pads are on 6mm with a slight lipping on both discs. And that concludes your vehicle health check. There's nothing really I'd like to report. All seems intact and operating as it should be. So we're going to get this service completed and have a look into why the stop-start is not operating as it should be. I'll pass all the information on to the service advisor, and he'll be in touch. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.